Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. As you can see, I'm sitting here almost barefaced. I already have my Bobbi Brown primer and eye cream on, and as you can see, I've done my eyebrows, but apart of that, I don't have any makeup on yet. The reason of that is because we are going to be testing out a foundation I recently purchased in TK Maxx, and that is the Burberry Fresh Glow Stick Gel Foundation. This foundation normally retails for £34, which is quite expensive, but not shockingly expensive. However, in TK Maxx I did manage to buy it for £13, which is an amazing price. Now, I have to admit, I never tried any stick foundations in my life. I know Anastasia Beverly Hills, Hourglass, and basically almost all other makeup companies have their own stick foundations, but because I have a quite textured skin and I really dislike cakey makeup, I always try to stay away from stick foundations. When I first saw this in TK Maxx, the reason I even checked it out was because it's Burberry, and I never had the pleasure to really own anything from Burberry before. Their clothing is really expensive, and although I love the way the makeup looks, we only have John Lewis, Boots, Superdrugs and Debenhams in my town, and none of them sells Burberry, so I never had the opportunity to see this makeup in person. And admittedly, I was curious, so I walked up to the counter and I expected to only find darker shades. Normally when you see face makeup products in TK Maxx, they are gonna be only really dark shades that obviously aren't not going to suit my skin tone. So I walked up to the counter and I checked the shades, and I saw that they had basically the whole spectrum. So I started looking at a couple of the shades and I found this shade. It's called Rose Ivory and this number 09, I believe. And this was basically my perfect match. So then the next step was to check the online reviews, and whilst it's not everyone's cup of tea, a lot of people clearly seem to enjoy it. And I was really interested in two aspects of this foundation. One of them is being a gel stick and the other one is being fresh. I love when makeup feels good and it feels fresh on the skin. Sometimes foundation can feel really yucky on the skin, especially if it's a thicker full coverage foundation. I don't really like those. And as I mentioned in my previous foundation review videos, I really gravitate towards more natural looking makeup. Here on my channel I do create some more artistic, more out there eye makeup looks, but in real life I try to stick to more natural makeup looks because I just feel more comfortable wearing those. So when I started reading about this foundation and people said that they really liked it because it looks so natural and almost like a second skin, I just really wanted to test it out. And I swatched it at the back of my hand and it just felt so cooling and refreshing. So I gave in and I decided to buy one. So I never actually wore this before. This is gonna be a first impression, but like I said, I did test it out on the back of my hand, mainly just to confirm if it is my skin tone and to see the texture a little bit. So this is how it looks like when you take off the cap. The product itself looks like this. I'm gonna swatch it on the back of my hand a little bit. As you can see, it's really similar to my skin tone, and just now after swatching it on the back of my hand, it already has this really nice cooling effect. I really enjoy that. As usual, before we jump into the application, I wanna read for you what they say about this product on the Burberry website, and I want to share a couple of details about this product with you. So this product contains 9 grams or 0.31 ounce of product, and it was made in Italy. It is available in 14 shades. I have to admit it's not the best color selection. The one I have is 09 Rose Ivory, and it is actually the lightest shade in the whole collection. Although the shade Porcelain is after this, it's number 11, so it looks like they left some numbers empty for possible extension on this collection in the future. Like I said, this is 09, so it almost sounds like the first 8 shades are missing. And then the next one is number 11 Porcelain, so again there are 2 shades missing in between. But at the moment this is their lightest shade, and I'm pretty sure there are people out there with lighter skin than I have, so it's probably not gonna suit everyone. But because it's such a lightweight foundation, I feel like it's more forgiving than a fuller coverage foundation would be. They claim that this is medium to full coverage, but if I was you, I definitely wouldn't try to build it up, because a stick foundation like this will give you texture if you use too much of it. So let's quickly read through the descriptions of this product from the Burberry website. Introducing Fresh Glow Gel Stick, an innovative water-infused foundation and concealer that provides flawless medium to high coverage with weightless wear. A unique aloe vera and water gel-based formula. It releases encapsulated water on application to revitalize and hydrate skin. The formula is enriched with optical diffusers for a natural radiant finish. Apply a soft layer or build coverage as desired for an undetectable, flawless skin finish that lasts all day. To conceal and correct, dot onto imperfections, dark spots and blemishes. Directly dab on the skin to touch up when on the move during the day. Alright, so it sounds like they want me to use my fingers, so I'm just gonna probably start with half of my face first. First apply the product and then kinda blend it in with my fingers, I guess. I don't want to over apply it, so I'm just gonna make a couple of lines like this. It melts onto the skin really easily, so that's super nice. It glides on really easy as well. Alright, so I guess I'm just gonna use my hand. I would normally much rather use a foundation brush, but I guess the warmth of your fingers is helping the product to melt into the skin. Okay, so far that application was super easy and super quick. It basically melted into the skin by itself. I hardly had to blend it at all. I'm just gonna quickly do the other side as well, and then we're gonna move on to a second layer, because this is definitely a really light coverage so far. It's a really nice cooling effect though. I'm really enjoying that. And I also enjoy how quick it is. I feel like in the morning when you're getting ready to work, something like this is amazing, because you just quickly put it on, dab it in with your fingers a bit, good to go. Like I said before, I won't be able to compare this to any other stick foundation for you because I never tried anything else, but I mean this one is looking really nice so far. It's really a barely there foundation, so if you're looking for full coverage, this might not be the one for you, but it looks flawless. You can hardly tell that I'm wearing any foundation, and I think it really nicely evened out my skin. I'm really happy with it so far. So I'm just gonna go in with a bit more, especially in the middle section. I'm not even sure if I should wear any concealer on top of this today, because normally when I wear a new foundation I try not to wear too much concealer on top of it, because I don't want to alter the way the foundation itself looks like. And because it's such a lightweight, low coverage foundation, I feel like almost any concealer would alter the way it looks. So that's 2 layers done. I really like it. I'm gonna zoom you guys in to show you a bit closer how it looks like. I feel like it's absolutely gorgeous. It really didn't emphasize any lines. I don't feel like it emphasized my pores either. It did give a really nice natural glow to the skin. It's maybe settling a little bit in my fine lines on my eyes, but without setting it anything would, so that's really not this foundation's fault. Okay, I think we need to set this with something. It feels like it takes a long time for this foundation to set. It still feels really sticky, so I want to apply some powder on top of it to help it set. And I'm just gonna use this Catrice Prime and Fine mattifying powder. As I said, I don't really want to use a concealer, so we're just gonna skip the concealer today. I want to see how this foundation looks like on its own. And as I said before, on most days when I'm not filming, I would wear a really simple makeup anyway. I probably wouldn't wear concealer. I hardly ever do unless I have some imperfection. Alright, so that is how the foundation looks like so far. I want to do something that I haven't really done before. I want to read a couple of online reviews for you because I feel like it gives you more of an insight to what other people think about this foundation. Obviously, I'm just one person, so just because I like or dislike something, that doesn't mean anyone else will as well. So for entertainment and education, I just wanted to read a couple of reviews online, and then I'm gonna possibly comment on them to tell you if I agree or disagree with them. So first review, gave it 5 stars. So far have been using this foundation for 2 weeks and I really like it. It does a good job of making my skin look even and perfect. The make or break is that it lasts through the day. I wore it at a sunny outdoor wedding and it held up pretty well. I have normal combo skin, so tend to get shiny looking pretty fast, but not with this. Also like how it feels going on the skin. Kind of a cooling, refreshing sensation, which is nice. It's a bit more matte than I would have expected, but personally don't mind that. It goes on more medium-ish coverage, I would say. I definitely add a few more strokes to make it higher coverage, but can see it working for someone that likes to sheer their foundation out too. I don't use this as a concealer, even though it is marketed as one. Just prefer something with more coverage and precision for that. Also love that you can throw this in your bag. Overall recommended. Okay, so I definitely agree that it's a cooling, refreshing sensation. Obviously, I have no idea yet if it's gonna last all day, but it's good to know that she found it did. I would also agree that it's more matte than I expected, which is not a problem at all for me because I normally prefer foundations that are bit more on the matte side, seeing how I'm a combination skin girl, but I also like when it has a natural healthy glow to it, so for me that was absolutely perfect about this foundation. I wouldn't use it as a concealer either. I have to admit that when I was applying it, I completely forgot that they mentioned you can use this as a concealer. I don't think it's high enough coverage for that. And I also agree with her that it's a really travel-friendly product. You can literally just drop it in your bag and go, and you can have it with you all day. If foundation is something that you normally need to touch up, you don't need a brush or a sponge or anything else with it. You can literally just go on, apply, dab it on, job done. Let's see another one. This is also a 5-star or 5 lipstick review. You really need to give this product a chance by getting the makeup artist to apply it to your face in the store. It doesn't feel great on your hand for some reason, but once you get it brushed on, it feels weightless and blends flawlessly into your skin. I was hesitant at first as it looked like a weird color on, but once it was blended, it looked really good. It's got a color correcting element in it, so that's why it doesn't immediately match perfectly with your skin. The MA helping me did use a Burberry Fluid Base Primer under it. The combo looked really natural and glowy on my skin. My friend actually decided to try it, buy it on the spot too, based on how good it looked on my skin. Really recommend it. It's a stick, so it's easy to apply and easy to take with you anywhere. Alright, so once again, she mentioned how good it looked, how flawless it looked, and she also mentioned that it doesn't feel good on the skin if you apply it on the back of your hand. I think that's just because, like I said before, it takes a really long time to set and it stays quite sticky. Now that I set it with the powder, it doesn't feel sticky anymore, but it's still a bit more like a gel, and as you know, gels always stay a bit more sticky, so I think that's just what it is. Now there's one more review on this website that's a really long but one lipstick review, so I wanted to read that for you as well because I don't want it to sound like everyone's giving it 5-star. It's not perfect and it's definitely not for everyone, so I just want to read the 1-star review as well to see what that girl has to say about it. I was so excited for this foundation to launch because the Fresh Glow liquid foundation is my holy grail. I hoped the stick version would be the perfect companion to the liquid for areas where I need extra coverage, but unfortunately it is not. I have mature skin that is prone to dryness and dehydration, which means stick foundations rarely work for me, with an exception of Tom Ford's Traceless Stick, but Burberry's gel stick was marketed as having encapsulated water as well as ingredients that nourish, moisturize and add glow. Well, it did none of the above. I tested it with and without the Burberry Fresh Glow primer, and the only difference was that the primer added a bit of a softness to the finish, but only a slight amount. It was not enough to prevent the foundation from drying the heck out of my face. The SA at my counter was pushing hard for me to buy the FJ primer. When I told him I already owned it, he stressed I should be absolutely sure to use it with the gel stick. That should have been my first red flag. I shouldn't have to use a primer to get the effect that the foundation alone is set to give. Don't market a foundation as glowy if it's the primer that really provides the effect. Simple, right? Alas, me being me, I had to try it. After all, it's Burberry, and until now, I've never had a fare from this brand. Sadly, this foundation is not usable for me in any way. Again, keep in mind, I'm recounting how this foundation worked for my skin type. Pros: has a nice cooling sensation upon application. It feels slightly hydrating at first, but the effect only lasts a few minutes. It really does blend easily, both with brush and fingers. The packaging, plastic and lightweight, has a good closure that snaps shut to prevent the product from drying out or coming open when not wanted. Cons: dual matte finish, drying on my skin type, dry mature. Began to break up after about 3 hours. Began to appear grainy and dry, especially under my eyes. Accentuates both texture and dry spots. Creases and collects in every fine line and very badly in the not so fine lines. Medium coverage at very best. Had to build feverishly to even achieve this. Zero glow unless you count the tiny shimmer particles that are totally useless. They don't show on the skin. I'm beyond bummed about this one. It's the total opposite of what it's marketed to be. If they would have launched this as a cashmere stick, I think the reception would have been much better because it's much more akin to the Cashmere liquid foundation than the Fresh Glow liquid foundation. Bottom line, huge fail for me. I'm inclined to say this foundation would be much better suited for combo oily skin that has very few lines or textural issues. However, the short wear time and the way it separates pools make me wonder if it would be well on oilier skin types either. Basically, if you already have perfect skin and want a light coverage matte foundation, you may want to try this. If you don't, save your money. Alright, so from this review, what I take away is that this foundation is not really good for mature skin or for drier skin types. I have read that on other websites as well, that even though this foundation is described as a hydrating, cooling, refreshing and fresh glowy foundation, it's more catered towards oily and combination skin types, which is fine by me because that's what I have, but it might not be fine by you if you have a drier skin. Alright, so that's it for now. I'm gonna go off camera now. I'm gonna finish the rest of the face makeup look, apply some bronzer, highlighter and all that. And then I'm gonna film another video where I'm gonna complete my eye makeup look. And then we're gonna wrap up this video. So once again, I'm gonna be back after my face makeup is done. Alright, so the rest of the face is done. As you can see, I used the Pink Squad palette from Benefit, and from that I used Dallas and Hoola to bronze up the face. And I also used the Bronze Squad palette, and from that palette I used Gold Rush and Cookie as a blush and highlighter. So when I first started applying those products, it was dragging. And because of that, I thought I'm gonna have a really patchy application. Like I said, this foundation stays sticky until it can stick to something. And even though I applied a very thin layer of powder on the face previously, it was still a little bit sticky. It didn't end up being patchy, thanks God. I feel like everything applied on top of it actually really, really nicely. So I'm very happy with that. I feel like my highlighter is even more glowy than usual, but I don't actually know if that's just the highlighter itself or is it because of the foundation. Anyway, I think it still looks really, really good. It does look a little bit dry in here, and I saw myself in natural light for a second, and I must say that some areas did look a bit textured. So yes, it's definitely not my most favorite foundation ever, but I must say that it looks really, really natural and it's super easy to apply. Like, I can't get over how quick that application was. Sometimes when I apply a foundation, I apply it and then I try to work it in the skin and then I'll go back with more, and then now it's too much, I'm trying to blend it out, and I didn't have any of that issue today. Everything looked absolutely gorgeous, so I was really happy with that. As I said before, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna film another video now, and once I'm done with that, I'm gonna come back and I will show you one more time how the foundation looks like. Before we do that though, I just wanted to show you very quickly how it looks. As I said before, I'm not wearing any concealer today, so everything you see is just the foundation. I am personally super happy with it. I think it looks gorgeous and my skin looks really healthy. Everything applied really nice on top of it, even though it was dragging at first. And so far it doesn't feel heavy at all. We shall see how it is going to be later, but yeah, I will see you guys in a second once my eye makeup is done. Alright guys, so I'm back, obviously, to wrap up this video. As you can see, I finished my eye makeup look, my lipstick, I let my hair down. So now we can have a look again at this foundation. It's been about 2 hours at this point since I applied it. So let's just have a closer look at it. In some areas here, you can see that I have remove the product. That is because I had a shadow shield on, unfortunately. I think the foundation still looks absolutely gorgeous. I don't see it coming off or getting patchy anywhere at all. It doesn't settle in my fine lines. It doesn't look dry. It doesn't look oily. I honestly don't have anything negative to say about this foundation at this point. I think it looks gorgeous and it feels really, really lightweight. Alright guys, so that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this foundation review. I know I'm not doing these longer reviews, but I check in multiple times. When I sit down to film, I try to film as many videos as I can in one go. So now I'm gonna go on and I'm gonna film one more video, so I can't exactly have this foundation on for the rest of the day. But if I change my opinion about this foundation at all, or I have anything to update you on, I will make sure to do so in the comment section. If you have any other foundation recommendations that you think I should try out, also let me know. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because I would love to have you here. And until next time, take care of yourself. I will see you very soon.